and girls. So today we're going to learn about states. What state do we live in? Alabama. Good job, we do. But today specifically we're going to learn about the southeastern states. So the southeastern states are all of these states on the big map of the United States. But today specifically we're going to learn about Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Has anyone ever been to any of those states? Where have you been? Florida. Florida. Okay. So why do you think it's important to know about your states?
So you don't get lost.
Yeah, so you don't get lost. Anyone else? Know where you want to go? So you know where you live? Yeah, you need to be able to point it out on a map where you live. So we can find Alabama on a map and say, that's the state that I live in, Alabama. So we'll start off by talking about Alabama since we're most familiar with it. Okay. So the capital of Alabama is actually here in Montgomery. Have any of you been to downtown and seen this building? Yeah? Okay, well that's our Capitol building. Isn't that neat that that's right here where you live? Isn't it? Has anyone ever heard of Rosa Parks? You have? Okay, well, you know, she said no on the bus and she did that here in Alabama. And it started the civil rights. So, who's interested in rockets and space? Anybody? Okay. Well, you can go to a space camp in Huntsville, Alabama, where they have rockets and other space equipment. And rockets were actually invented in Alabama. People from Alabama built the first rocket. So then we can talk about Georgia. Georgia is known for the 3 P's: peaches, peanuts, and pecans. Has anybody ever eaten peaches? Yeah. They probably came from Georgia. And Coca-Cola was also invented in Georgia. Has anybody been to the Coca-Cola factory there? Well, it's there. You can go and they have tons of different types of Coca-Cola. Do you like it, Coca-Cola? Yeah. Do you have a question? You always go to Georgia? That's neat. So another thing about Georgia is the famous pirate Blackbeard had a house in Georgia and he was from there. But he went all over the states. So our last state is Florida. And Florida is mainly known for its oranges. Did anybody have orange juice this morning? Yeah, most of you did. The oranges for that orange juice probably came from Florida. And St. Augustine is in Florida, and it is the oldest settlement in the United States. Does anyone know what a settlement is? No. A settlement is where people first built towns in the states. So Walt Disney World is also in Florida. Like how Mr. Hook has his room, Disney. That's for Florida. It's there and you can go and meet all the characters. So other states that are in the southeastern but that we didn't really talk about is North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia.
She's been to those places before.
Really? Well, maybe you can get her to take you with you next time. You can say that you've been to those places. Okay. So we'll go back to our map, and you can see we talked about Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, but the southeastern states are also all of those other ones, and those are the ones that we didn't really talk about. Does anyone have any questions about? You want to know something about Kentucky? Or do you know something?
I don't know about Kentucky.
What do you know about Kentucky?
One of my uncles live there.
Really?
And I lived in Florida.
Oh, you did? That's nice. 3 weeks. You did? But you had a lot of fun.
I went to Virginia and my brother.
Oh, that's nice. So you've been to Virginia.
My dad drives big trucks and he went to Mississippi and Georgia.
Oh, he's been a lot of places probably.
My auntie lived in Georgia and now I went to go see her.
That's nice. So, do you have any questions? You were raising your hand.
Last year, I was dressed up as Rosa Parks.
Really? So, how can you remember about any of these states? What are some things you can remember?
Texas.
What about Texas?
He
You still live there? Well, Texas isn't a part of the Southeast, but that is a state. So that's a good job.
How do you remember you can go to places and get right.
Yes, you can go and then write about it. And write about your memories and what all you did there so you can remember it.
You know that Florida has beaches.
Florida does have beaches. It does have sharks. New York is a state, but it's not one of our southeastern states. New York is a northeastern state. But good job though, knowing your other states. So for our activity today, you're broken into your groups, but you're going to look at this map and you're going to pick one state. It doesn't have to be the Alabama, Georgia, Florida. It could be any of these states, and you're going to write why you picked that state. Okay? So we'll start off with that.
Get on task now.
You'll need to take your pencils out. So then you'll just write your name and pick any of these states and then answer the question, why did you pick this state? Just write why you picked it. It could be because you like the name. It has a lot of letters. Or maybe you've been there before. Or you can even write about something that you learned today about the state. start talking about why you picked that state with your table. Tell the people at your table the state you picked and why you picked it.
I picked Florida because I pick a basket. I and my family have been there a couple of times. I picked Kentucky because that's what I said. Which one? I picked Alabama.
Okay, so Demetrius picked Florida because she likes the oranges and are from there. That's something that she learned today.
Virginia.
It has lots of beaches. Oliver, what'd you pick? What is it? Alabama? Why'd you pick Alabama?
He been there.
Because you live in Alabama? You do?
I really want to pick one, but I'm not.
It didn't matter what state you picked. If you picked any state. Okay. So now that we've talked about the state we picked, we can remember that today we learned about Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. What was something about Alabama that we learned?
Rosa
That we're from there? What were you saying?
Rosa Parks there.
Rosa Parks is from here. Okay. What's something we learned about Georgia?
They have fruits.
What kind of fruit?
Peaches.
Peaches. Okay. What's something we learned about Florida?
We can go to Disney World.
They have oranges in Disney World. And Coke was in Georgia. Yeah, but that is something that's in Georgia. Blackbeard was in Georgia. Blackbeard was that pirate we learned about. So great job. Now you can go home and tell mom and dad, I learned something about Georgia today or Florida today.
This is Cynthia. I think the Georgia thing was